Now, at this point in the process, it makes sense to go ahead and discuss training. Since I've mentioned it, I will hand it to Wanda now.
The Tekla Structures engineering training program has been divided into 2 stages, the basic training virtual stage and the classroom stage, as Rob mentioned. The trainees in our initial engineering training classes told us at the end of class that they were getting information overload by the middle of the week, and when asked to what extent they could have learned the material on their own, the first 2 days of modeling was the overwhelming response. Thus, the 2-stage concept was born. By splitting the training, we are allowing for greater retention of the material and better coverage of the more complex topics. The first stage is the basic training, which is provided to all takers, and completion is mandatory for the classroom training. This training package allows the trainee to learn at their own pace, but with definite tasks to accomplish within an allotted amount of time. As you can see from the timeline, the first step is to sign up for Tekla Structures engineering training. You do not need a specific date in mind for attendance, but should plan to attend the class that is 5 or more weeks away. You would then receive an email with links for downloading either a zip file or CD image file. Once downloaded, you would need to get the package in a usable form, unzip, or burn the image to a CD. When unzipping, you can unzip it to any location that you wish. The package provides a media presentation tool as well as the tutorial content. Next, you need to run the setup guide, which explains how to install and use the media presentation tool. First, you use the web link to install the presentation tool, which starts upon completion. You can download a sample model to prevent the prompting dialog from appearing on each start or restart. Next, in order to access the training material, you need to tell the presentation tool where to find it by setting the model path using the Change button to browse to the extracted path. The rest of the setup guide provides an overview of the presentation tool and how it is used with the provided material. You are now ready to start the basic training. The presentation tool provides many tools for success. The drawing panel provides an area for viewing the different steps and tutorials. The model panel provides an area for viewing the sample models for the model tutorials, which are accessed by clicking on the listing in the Models List panel. Note that the tutorials associated with each model are also available in the lower left panel. The drawing panel is where you will navigate through the training. From the welcome page, you can access the timeline that I showed earlier. Use the home button to return back to the welcome page and then proceed to the desired step. Step 1 provides documents about the training program as well as information about Tekla Structures. You can open the documents by clicking on the title links or on the images. Step 2 provides a web link, the image, to run the First Steps tutorial, which provides an easy-to-follow discussion on the basic functions of Tekla Structures. Up to this point, you do not need access to Tekla Structures to begin the learning process. Step 3 provides the instructions for creating the first Tekla Structures model that you will eventually submit for review. You click the image to access the PDF tutorial and then use the home button to return back to the welcome page and then select a step. A web link to a video presentation on creating the model is also provided. Step 4 provides the tutorial on recommended practices in using Tekla Structures, as well as the instructions for creating the second reviewed model along with the basic drawing creation. Note that there are also some supplemental files that are needed when completing the tutorial. These are provided in a self-executing zip file, which is accessed from the Tekla Firm link. The link should open a folder view containing the executable and a PDF instruction guide. When extracting this file, be sure to use the default path provided. Use the home button to return back to the welcome page and then proceed to the desired step. Step 5 is where you submit your models. A link is provided that generates an email addressed to me with the subject line in place. From me, you will receive submittal instructions and a link to the training content questionnaire. It is recommended that you complete Step 5 prior to taking the exam. Step 6 provides information on collaborating with others and analysis and design. Step 7 provides additional information that can be helpful as you implement Tekla Structures into your workflow. So here's a summary of the process. You receive the email with the training package, get it installed, and progress through to step 5, at which point you send an email requesting the submission instructions. In return, you are sent an email with the submission instructions and a link for the content questionnaire. You then complete the questionnaire, receive notification of classroom eligibility, and choose a classroom event. You should then complete the remaining steps in the time remaining until your chosen class begins. The second stage is to attend the engineering classroom training after completion of the basic or virtual training. Enrollment is a minimum of 3 weeks prior to class start, and the basic training submissions of 2 models and the exam are due 2 weeks prior. The topics covered are a bit more intense in nature than the task in the self-learning, and a good foundation in the basics is strongly recommended. Both stages must be completed satisfactorily to receive the certification mentioned in the program guide. See Step 2. Okay, Rob, it's all yours.
You can see the training materials are comprehensive, and after training, you will have a good enough grasp to begin a small project if you wish. Personally, I didn't actually receive any formal training until I came to Tekla, and in the training class, I learned things that would have been very beneficial to me and sped me up dramatically. But now on to the 3-month process, which includes the 30-day process. So really you're starting at month 2 once we get into the 3-month. Includes classroom training, model setup and customization. Go back, the startup checklist, the advanced options is where we want to get to. So within this list, you have more settings that we want to go through. Now, some of these things you've already gone through. We've got who the main user is because we had our meeting. We had our company meeting to optimize our company's design workflow. So we've got some of these things set up. Collected our company requirements. We've already done that. We've worked on the file structure and how things are ordered. Folder locations. Now, some of these folders we may not have made. We may not have a subcontractor or project folder because we haven't really gotten that far into it, but you may want to do this. You may have certain customers that have certain settings that are just for them that you want to set up their own folder with their attributes. The next step, this is, shortly after that, you've done most of the model customization, and now we work on advanced drawing settings. This is where you get into your grid bubbles, your specific grid bubbles, your section details, symbols, fonts, sizes, arrowheads, text size, text color, myriad of options here to select from. So back to the checklist again. Page 2, this is where you get into that. You want to start exploring what templates we have, both reports and templates, and find out if these things are exactly what you need or almost what you need. And then basically, if it's almost, you make a backup copy and then modify it to what you want to see. You want to set up your classifiers here. You want to set up what you want general arrangement drawings to look like, what I want things to exactly come out like. Do I want my elevations to be symbol or partial profile? And on down. This is a comprehensive list. It gets on down even to collaboration. So you've really got a good wealth of information just on the checklist itself. So now we start the 6-month process. The 30-day process is included. The 3-month process is included. So really you're working on month 4 now. So what you want to do is do a small ghost project. This is either doing a section of a larger project or a small project that would be equal to the example that I gave, either live or otherwise. We recommend doing ghost where you may have a parallel project going on that is a live project while you're doing the same project in Tekla, just to compare results and just the different ways that can be done, just in case any other section symbols or anything need to be changed. Which brings me to drawing setup customization. You want to re-verify with your startup checklist advanced settings, fine-tune these drawing settings, create drawings, and verify the settings are correct. So I hope you can see what we're trying to do with these Tuesday tutorials here at Tekla, which is to take the larger world of Tekla and break that down into smaller pieces so that you can really get down to the nuts and bolts of what you are trying to do. And once these are made available online, you can reference these time and time again as fits your need.